Have you ever known you needed to do something, but you just honestly didn't have the energy? Well, that's what I'm feeling right now. And I decided that even though I really don't feel like creating any content, I'm going to create a video about what to do when you don't feel like creating content, but you really need to get it done. Why? Because your to-do list told you so. Now, let's take a look at my to-do list. So it clearly tells me that on Friday, I need to make a YouTube video. Today's Friday, and here we are. So let's start with why I don't feel like it. Honestly, creating content for Instagram and YouTube and blog posts and email newsletters, it is a lot of creating, and I haven't actually figured out a way to schedule that per week in a way that feels balanced. And I mean, not that I'm in a season of my life of balance, because I'm not. I'm definitely in a season of imbalance, and that's fine. I'm more of a season of focus. However, I can't be dragged by my emotions. And so if I wrote something down on my to-do list and it says that I need to get this done, I likely wrote that at a time where I was thinking clearly and I knew what needed to get done, and I had a reason for writing it down to get done by that time. I cannot summon the reason right now, and I think it's because I am in my feelings and I don't want to know the reason, right? I just want what I want, and what I want is to go downstairs and make dinner and just have a chill night. But like that's not what's gonna happen, clearly. So in those situations, what I like to do, so those situations where you know you need to do something, it could be go to the gym, it can be cook dinner instead of ordering out, it can be make a YouTube video instead of sitting and watching videos on YouTube, right? Being a producer instead of a consumer. In those instances, what I usually do is I just pause all thoughts. Like I literally go in my head and I just say, whoa, pause, put a pause on that. And I immediately jump into action, because for me, that's the only way it's gonna get done. Like I have to stop telling myself this story of why I don't wanna do it and how I'm feeling and all these excuses and all these things, and just jump into action. Even trying to logically talk to myself. Like I've tried reasoning with myself, being logical, stating the facts, like, okay, well, these are your goals, and in order to reach those goals, you need to do this, this, and this. Therefore, this small action that you take today is going to help you get to this long-term goal. And it's like, it sounds good, but we only do what we feel like doing in the moment, unless we're just acting completely out of our feelings. And so that's why any of those mental conversations don't work when I don't feel like doing it. I just have to start doing the thing. Same thing with the gym. Like I want to exercise at least 5 times a week. And how I make that happen is when I start having those thoughts of, I just really drive all the way to the gym. Traffic. Man, I just really don't feel good today. Or I'm just not into it. I grab my keys, put my shoes on, and I get in the car and just start driving. That's the only way for me. I'd be curious to hear like what works for other people, because I think that is how I've been able to be so disciplined in my life, just recognizing that I'm not my feelings. And I don't know, that sounds kind of crazy when I say it, but it's true. Like just because I feel a way about something doesn't mean that it's true, and it doesn't mean that it serves me. Like not every feeling I have serves me or serves the future me. And so, the way that I learned that actually is by making terrible dating decisions. Like knowing, it's just that thought of like, okay, I am so attracted to this guy. I want to get to know him, but I know he's bad for me. Like this is like high school, college, Ashley, actually post-college too, like just early years, less mature. But I would have those thoughts of like, yeah, I know this is not good for me, but yeah, I just want to see, you just never know. You never know. Like, no, okay. And so I learned that like, okay, this feeling, this thought I'm having, like, it's just not, it doesn't serve me. It's not good for me. And after doing that repeatedly is when I realized like, wait a minute, there really are 2 of us in here. There's like the devil on this shoulder who's like, do it. You can do it. It's gonna be fine. And then there's an angel that's like, please, we've been through this. Just don't do it. Like, trust me. Trust yourself. It's not gonna work out. And so like after going through that cycle repeatedly, it's like, all right, something's gotta give. And I realized like, all right, I am the adult here. Like, I'm the person in charge, like me, you know, not my feelings, just me. And so I have to remove myself from that completely and just be like, jump into it. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to think about. Get this workout in. And the crazy part is like, this happens to me a lot with runs. The crazy part is I'll be like, no, I don't feel like going for a run. Like, I don't feel it in my body. I feel tired, whatever. Like, I'm just not up for it today. I'll be running, you know, 10 minutes in, I start to be like, okay, this is fine. And then at the end, like, those are usually some of the best runs, which is crazy because it's like, I really did not want to do this. I really didn't want to be out here, yet I feel great. And I mean, a lot of it honestly might be hormones, endorphins or whatever. But I just find it so interesting that those are the runs where I'm like, dang, and I wasn't even gonna come outside. Like, and here I am, so happy I did this. So anyway, all that to say, in the times where we don't feel like it the most, maybe those are the times that we actually need to do the thing. So anyway, into what I was going to talk about today. Now, I've been listening to this book, The YouTube Formula, on and off. And I mean, sometimes I get overwhelmed by the book. And so I'm at the part of the book where he talks about monetization. And I mean, at this stage, I am so far from monetization that I almost feel like, why am I even reading this? Like, maybe I could just save it for later, or I don't know. I do have those thoughts, but I listen anyway. And a lot of it is about like the YouTube partner program and, you know, how to qualify and how you really need to follow the rules about like copyright and advertising to kids and this and that. And I'm just like, ooh, child, that just sounds like a lot. Like, even just the rules around like going live and I don't know, what is it, something per million. And I was just like, bro, I'm so far away from that. Like, I'm honestly trying to figure out, is my setup even right? Like, am I doing this right? Really though? Like, I have this selfie stick here and my iPhone 12 mini and my freaking clip-on ring light. I'm just like, am I even doing this right? Like, monetization is not on my mind. But like he says in the beginning of the book, I mean, YouTube is a great way to make money. So eventually, yes, that's something that I'm definitely going to pursue and look into. But right now, my focus is getting the setup right, getting comfortable making videos, making it a habit to make videos. I really need to set up a schedule where I say, okay, this time, this day, I'm dedicating to making content for YouTube. I think that is probably something I need to do. But also, I think I need to keep a list, because random times throughout the week where I don't actually have time to make a video, but I think of an idea or something inspires me and I'm like, oh, I definitely need to talk about that. Or, you know, something happens where someone tells me a story about their YouTube experience or something, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, I would love to talk about that. And then by the time I actually sit down to make content, I done forgot everything they said. So, but one thing I remember is like, this book said that you should try to, no, this other book that I read, what was it called? It was very short. Like, if you listen to the audio, it was like an hour long, and I'm gonna put it in the description because I need to look it up, but I listened to it on, I think, Spotify actually. And this book said that you should keep your YouTube videos to 3 minutes or less. And I was like, what substantive thing could I actually talk about in 3 minutes or less? Actually, I've actually watched a lot of YouTube videos that are 3 minutes or less, and I mean, honestly, I do click on shorter videos, but I just felt so much pressure in that moment. I was like, 3 minutes? Am I gonna get a point across in 3 minutes? I think with my private lending videos, I can definitely make them 3 minutes or less. But if I'm telling a story about my first real estate deal or transaction, I feel like sometimes the drama takes more than 3 minutes. And so what do I do in that case? Do I break it up into multiple 3-minute videos? Actually, that might be a good idea now that I think about it. But I guess I also didn't really understand the logic behind the 3 minutes. He said that it's because of the attention span of viewers these days. And I get that, but I don't see the difference. Like if I have a long story to tell and I break it up into multiple 3-minute videos, like that doesn't really increase the attention span. But he was talking more about like a certain percent of your video being played counts as a watch or something like that. I don't remember what the percent was, but I was just like, oh my gosh, 3 minutes, another criteria I need to meet. So I'm gonna make an effort on the next private lending video that I film to make it 3 minutes or less. I will do my best. And part of the problem is like I don't rehearse these videos, and I don't know if that's a problem or a good thing, but I do feel like if I had a script or tried to rehearse, I wouldn't get nothing done. I've tried scripted videos for ads, like for Instagram, and it just doesn't work. Like I don't know, like I can never stick to the script unless I memorize it, and I don't want to memorize a script. So anyway, that's how I'm feeling this week about being a content creator on YouTube. It's just sometimes I don't feel like making the content, but I have to create a structure in my life and put systems in place that just make it easy for me to make content. And then once I get used to that structure and those systems, I think it's going to be a no-brainer, just like it is with Instagram. Like I have no problem making Instagram content, and I have a very solid system for how I do that, and it works and I love it. But I remember when I first started, I hated it. I was like, this is too much. Like I don't want to do this. So I need a structure and a system for this. Another thing is I do think the partner program and all the monetization stuff is far beyond where I am right now. So I don't think I need to worry about any of that. There were some other tips he had on there that I'm going to implement, and we'll see how it works. I definitely think you should read the book, both books. So I'm gonna put both in the description. So I think it's worth reading if you are interested in creating content on YouTube, and don't feel pressure to read it so fast. Like I'm taking my time with these because it's a lot of information, and some of it I might have to reread later in my journey, but really good tips. Some of it I kind of already knew from just watching Myron Golden, but gonna implement some of those, a system and structure, and then I think that's it. Yeah, like I'm gonna focus on those things, create some sort of cadence. I think next time I'll report back on, just to hold myself accountable, I'm gonna create some sort of system, report back, let you know how it's going, if it works, and we'll take it from there.